Okay, fine. We can start now. So in the last session, which topic we have seen? Cloning, dunning, forking done, pull request, merges, rebase done, and branch protection rules also, right? Okay. So in today's session, we are going to start the concept with the git pull command. Which command? I think all of you know git push, right? What is git push? Git push. Send the code to local to remote, correct. But pull is quite opposite. Pulling is nothing but taking the code from GitHub to Git. Of course, you can ask me, sir, that is the concept of cloning, right? Then what is the difference between pull and clone? That I'll tell you. So basically, the concept of clone will download the entire repository. For example, if I have the repository, if I want to download the entire repository, in that case, I can use the concept called clone. No, sir, I want to download the code only. I don't want entire repository. I want to download code only. I don't want entire repository. In that case, you can use a concept called git pull. So let me show you the difference in practical way. So you'll get some understanding about it. More back stop. What is the command to install Git? Yum install git hyphen y. What is yum here? It is a package manager. Okay. And what is install? Install is the action. Okay. And after that, git is the name of the package, and hyphen I stand for yes, correct. So here I have it now. So where is the notes? Go for pull. Okay. Here you can see git pull is used to get the latest changes from GitHub to local. I'll show you like how it is going to work for you. So for example, here I connected my EC2 instance and let me go and install git here. The command to install git is yum install git hyphen y. So in the meanwhile, I'll be going to the repository here. If I go to GitHub, so Shravani account, there is a repository called Paytm repository. Okay, it is a repository. What I can do here, you know, I'll copy the code here. Wait, I'm on different account now. Let me sign. Now, like it's fine. Still in this repository also, we have the same thing here. Wait. So here I have the Paytm repository. Which repository I'm having here? Paytm. So if I want to get this code, what I can do? Copy the HTTPS code and give the command git clone. Which one? Git clone will download the entire repository from GitHub to Git. For example, if you go and see give LL, you can see the repository, go to Paytm. Okay. Here you have the files. What you have here? Files. For example, there is a file called file1. Which file do I have here? File1. Here also I'm having the file1 itself. So as of now, what I'm doing, you know, in my local, I'll be going and giving the command cat file1. Are you having any content here? In GitHub also, you don't have any content. But now I'm trying to modify something on the GitHub here. I'll fork this repository, of course. So here what you can do is I'm going to modify this repository. So you can give the content like, hi all, my name is Raham. So I'm having some content here. So now tell me one thing. Currently, you change the code on the remote repository. This Sandeep account only. Currently, I have taken the code from which account? Is it from Shravani account? Okay, let me log into Shravani account. Sign in. So see, now in the Shravani account, I have the repository called Paytm. So this repository I have taken to my Local itself. So in local, I have the file one. Do you have any content on file one here? No. But what I'm doing, in this repository, in my GitHub, I am trying to change the code here. Hi all, my name is Shravani. So I'm writing some content like this. Now tell me one thing. I have code both on Git and GitHub. But GitHub is having some changes or not, sir? In GitHub, I have the file called file1. I have modified the file1 here. But is it the same content coming to my local here? No, in my local, the same content will not replicate. Why? Because operations on Git and GitHub will be different. So what I can do, if I want to get the changes from GitHub to local, that means GitHub to Git. In that case, I can use the command called git pull command. Which command? If I use the command git pull origin master, that means from master branch, what are the new changes that you have done on GitHub? Bring the changes to my local. Hit enter. Are you seeing in the file called file1? We have one commit or not, sir? Now use the command cat file1. Are you seeing the content got replicated to local? So whenever if you have any changes on the GitHub and the changes is not present on your local, in that case, what you can do is you can get the command git pull to get the changes from GitHub to Git. Again, I'll explain one more time. Sir, this time I am modifying the content again. So click on the pen symbol and write some content here. So I'm writing here, thanks, and I'm committing the file. If you use Ctrl S, file will be committed. Now again, tell me, do I have the second line in my local here? That means, do we have difference for both Git and GitHub or not, sir? In GitHub, master branch, file1 is having the change. But the file1 is not replicated to my local. So in that case, I can use the command call git pull origin master. That's it. Automatically, you can see for the master branch, there is one new insert. If I use the command cat file1, are you seeing the new content got replicated? So in this way, the concept of git pull is telling that whenever if we have local repository as well as some remote repository. In remote repository, you have some changes. What you have? That means your file got modified. That changes will come to your local when we run the command call git pull. So in interview, they are going to ask you a question. What is the difference between git clone versus git pull? Difference is very, very easy. Git pull will download the files only. Git pull will download the, but git clone will download the entire repository. To download the files, git pull. To download the entire repository, git clone. So is the concept of git pull clear for all of you now? Yes. And here I am telling you, without changes, the GitHub to Git, it won't work. For example, see, now in GitHub as well as Git, I have same content. Are you seeing it now? Now the content is same. Whenever the content is same, if I try to use the same command, it is not going to work. Why? Because it is telling here already up to date. That means whatever the content you have on Git and whatever the content you are having on GitHub, both will be same. So we don't have any new updates. So this command will not work for you. That is the note point here what I have written. Here I have given the difference also. Push means sending the code from GitHub Git to push, but pull means getting the code from GitHub to Git. That's it. And there is one more command called git fetch command. Which command? Git fetch is nothing but, for example, see, if I try to add some changes, I'm trying to adding some changes here. I'm committing the file. Sir, I want to check whether do I have new commit in GitHub or not. I want to check, but I don't want to download the file. In that case, I can use the command git fetch. Git fetch will show me that for your local branch master and in the GitHub branch master, there are some files difference. But it won't download the difference files. It is going to show the difference only. You have some difference in the master branch. If you want to download the difference, you can use the command git pull. But if you don't want to download the files, you want to see whether we have difference in code or not. In that case, we can use the command fetch. So is the concept of pull and fetch clear for all of you? Online, can you please confirm is the pull and fetch clear for all of you or not? Okay. Yes, Vikram, it work for only particular branch. Okay. You need to specify the branch which you want to pull and which you want to push. Hope it is clear. Sir, do we have to give one command for one branch? Yeah, definitely, Adil. See, guys, here, like, let me show you this visually. For example, see, in my Git, I have master branch, train branch, recharge, DTH. In GitHub also I have same branches, master, train, recharge, DTH. For example, in the GitHub, I have the changes on train branch. But in Git, I don't have that changes. That means in locally, the code is not up to the date, but in GitHub, it is up to the date. If I want to get the latest code from GitHub to Git, pull is a command. But once you are running the pull command, you need to specify the branch. For example, if I don't specify the branch name, what Git will do? It is going to take the code from default branch. But I want to get the code from which branch here? So definitely you need to mention the name of the branch while doing the push and pull activities. Otherwise, it is going to apply for the default branch. And what is the default branch in Git? Correct. So I hope it is clear for you. Fine. Clone for all repos, right? All repo not, you can only clone single repo at a single time. You cannot clone multiple repos, Vikram. Okay. For example, see, I have 3 different repositories. I want to clone them. You cannot clone all of them at a single time. You can need to clone one by one. Git clone repository 1, git clone repository 2, git clone repository number 3. Fine. Sir, for push, we give credentials. For pull, basically for pull, it is not going to ask. Why? Because it is public repository. Which repository? But if it is private, definitely we are going to give it. And I'm going to show you how to change the repository from public to private. Guys, currently our repository is public. Public means everybody can see the repository. But there is a option to change the repository from public to private. If you go here in the danger zone, you can see something called as change repository visibility. What you are seeing here? Currently the repository is public. So if you wish to change to private, click on change visibility, change to private. Okay. Now here click on I want to make this repository private and click on I read and understand the effects. For example, if you change the public repository to private, what happened? The people will not able to download your repository. Okay. So that is going to be private now. Till now, you can download anybody repository, but from now you cannot download. Why? Because it's going to be the private one. So click on make this repository private. That's it. Now you can go and check the log symbol. Are you seeing the log symbol here? The log will indicate private. So when it is private, if you want to clone, definitely you are going to provide the credentials. Let me show you practically also. See, it is currently private now. I am trying to clone it. What I am trying to do? I'll go to some separate folder. There is a folder called TMP. I am going to TMP folder. I am going to give the command git clone and repository name. What is asking it? Username. If I enter username, later it is going to ask the password. Okay, that's it. So, but by default here I'm showing public repositories. That is the reason why it is not asking the credentials. But for private repos, definitely we need to use username and password means what here? I think all of you know how to give token, right? That's it. Okay, sir. Now again, I want to make it from private to public again. Again, same operation. Click on settings. Go to the danger zone. Click on change visibility. Change to public. Now automatically this is going to become the public repository now. Are you seeing the log symbol here? If it is a log that is private, if it is not having any kind of log, then it is going to be public. We have only 2 types, whether it can be public or it can be private. And there is one more option called archive. Okay, let me go and see. For example, if you go and see, are you seeing the archive option here? What is the meaning of archive? Might fail. Hide. Okay, correct. Archive means hide only. See, I'll tell you when we are going to archive the repository. For example, if you know the software culture, generally in the month of December and January, you won't have any works. Which month? December and January. The reason is that is going to be called as freezing month. Which month? Freezing month means it's not because of winter actually. There is a reason. You know, if you go to the clients actually, major of our clients, if you go to any organization, that will be from US one, right? So in US, completely the month of December and January will be holidays. So our client will be on holidays. So while these people are on holidays, what we're gonna do is we are not gonna change any code. Why? Because if we want to change the code, we need to have their approval. Without having their approval, we cannot change the code. But in the month of December and January, these people are going to be on vacation time. So at that time, nobody is gonna change the source code. If you make this repository archive, nobody will have the access to write the code. Let me show you. For example, let me archive this repository. If you want to archive, give the username and name of the repository. The moment if you archive this repository, you can go and check. I want to write the code on file 1. Are you seeing the pen symbol here? Is it enabled? It's disabled, man. Disabled, okay? You can see here if I click on this pen symbol, it is not going to work for me. Why? Because I have publicly archived this repository. You can see this repository has been archived by the owner on June 12, 2000. Now it is read only. That means anybody from my organization can see the code, but they cannot able to modify the code. Why? Because it's a freezing month. Freezing month means January and December. At that time, we are not going to do any kind of deployments. We are not going to do any kind of modification for the code. So this is how the organizations will freeze their code. So freezing the code means you want to select the archive. Sir, again after January, they are going to get back to their work. Now again, developers want to change the code. Now this time, if they want to change this code, simply again go to settings. Again, I put here an archive. So give the username as well as the repository name. So click on I understand the consequences, then go ahead. Now, if I wish to change the code here, I can have the edit option enabled. You can go and check here. Is the option enabled here? Click on edit. Now I can write any of the code and I can able to commit the changes. So in this way, you are going to archive the repository. And remember, basically we do archiving of the repository only in the January and December month. Okay. Other than this, we don't do these activities. And that too, the reason is our clients will be on vacation. So without their permission, we cannot modify anything from our source code perception. Sir, similarly, for example, I want to delete the repository. Are you seeing the option to delete the repository? We can delete, but in real time, we don't do this one. Why? Because we don't have permissions. I think already I shown you how to give permission in last time, right? So basically, you will not have any kind of option to delete this repository. Only one person, our team manager, will have the access to delete. Even though if he want to delete this repository, he need to get permission from his higher authorities. Then only he can be able to delete. But as of now, I'm just gonna show you how to delete. Click on delete this repository. Yes, I want to delete. Yes, I understand. Now here, give the username and repository. If you click delete, it will be gone and you don't have any kind of backup. Why? Because as of now, here we are using the free tier. GitHub is free account, right? We are using, but there is enterprise edition where you can get the backup also. But as of now, in the free edition, we don't have any kind of backup activities. That's it. So generally, we don't go for the danger zone option mostly. But if you want to go, so these are the possible options. And we have seen what is BPR, right? In the last session, BPR stand for. So this already we covered in the last session. And the last thing will be transferring the ownership. What is the last one here? For example, let's go and check here. Sir, currently who is the owner of this repository? Shravani. But Shravani want to give this repository for me. That means she want to transfer the complete ownership. So in that case, what will happen, you can see transfer button here. I'm going to click on this transfer. And after giving the username and repository name, if I click, I understand this specify the username. Here I need to give to which user you want to transfer. I want to transfer for user called DevOps by Raham. It is my account actual. Click on I understand and transfer the repository. So it is telling that in my username already Paytm repositories existed. So what I can do is Let me give some other name. Can anyone of you tell me your GitHub ID? I am Tejas 23. So if I click on I understand this repository, now Tejas, you will get an email. Can you please check your email? For your email, you are going to get a link. If you select on that link, automatically this repository will be yours now. But don't click on select, okay? Just check whether you get the notification or not. Go to the promotions. Have you got it? If you click there, automatically the repository will be yours now. But in general, we don't use this activity in real time. But I'm just showing you. If you want to transfer the account ownership, it is the way. If I click on abort transfer, now it is going to be come back. Now he cannot able to do anything of it. So these will be the danger zone options of your repository. What are the danger zone options? First of all, visibility. Second one, branch protection rules. Third one, transferring the ownership. Fourth one, archiving the repository. And fifth one will be deleting the repository. So is the danger zone section clear for all of you? Know? Online, can you please confirm is the danger zone section clear for all of you or not? Okay, fine. So now I'm gonna tell one major concept in the entire Git that is going to be called as merge conflict. Which one? Guys, this is gonna be very, very important question for the interview. And again, the process is also going to be very, very lengthy. Don't worry about the process. Understand the concept. Okay. Let me tell you. What is the meaning of conflict? I'm gonna teach the concept of merge conflict, but forgot about merge. I think all of you know what is merge. What is merge here? Adding the files between one branch, huh? Two branches. Okay, if I want to add files from one branch to another branch, or if I want to add the files between two branches, in that case, I can use a concept called git merge. Okay, merge means, adding the files between branches. And what is the meaning of conflict? Any disturbance? Huh? Then still. Like I am asking in general English, I am not asking about technical word. What is conflict? War. Still. I want the exact word. What is conflict? Troubleshooting. Configuration. Huh? Confusion. Okay. Okay. Still, any answers? Basically, I got the correct answer, but the exact meaning of conflict is nothing but differences. What is the meaning of conflict? In Telugu, we can call it as Bedabhiprayalu. I mean, if anybody know Telugu, you know the meaning of Bedabhiprayalu? What is the example of Bedabhiprayalu? Misunderstanding, right? If I say something, you will understand some other thing. Okay, that is what we can call as conflict actually. See, the reason why we get conflict is understand the scenario here, what I'm trying to teach you. For example, in real time, I have two different developers. Okay, developer one as well as developer two. This concept is gonna be very, very interesting as well as a little bit confusing also, but I'm trying to make it very easy for you. How many developers I'm having here? Two different developers, developer one and developer. Sir, developer one is working on branch one. Where is working on? Similarly, developer two is working on branch two. Developer one is writing the Java code. Which code? But developer two is working on Python code. Which code? So you can see the complete differences, right? So developer one, developer two, branch one, branch two. Developer one is working on Java, developer two is working on. But what is the common thing here? Unfortunately, these two people are working on the same file only. See, there is a file called file1. For example, let's take. There is a file called file1. I have the file1 in both branch 1 as well as in branch 2. But in branch 1, my developer 1 is working on file1. In branch 2, my developer 2 is working. What is developer writing on branch 1 here? And developer 2 is writing Python code. Is it clear now? Now understand, I want to merge the code from branch 2 to branch 1. What I want to merge? I want to merge the code from branch 2 to. That means whatever the content I have on file 1, that is Python content. Okay. Now the same content will come and merge with the Java content in the file 1. That means branches are different, developers are different, code is different. But what is the common thing here? File 1 is on both branch 1 and branch 2. If I merge branch 2 to branch 1, that means whatever the content we have on branch 2 is Python. The same content will come to the file 1 in the branch 1. But what is branch 1 having here? Now, tell me one thing. Can we write both this code on a single file? Is it going to be make some difficulty or not, sir? This is what we can call as merge conflict. What do we call as? Whenever you merge the files between two branches, which is having the common name, then the concept of merge conflict will happen. Okay. I think somebody in the last session asked this concept. What is merge conflict? So this is the merge conflict actually. Let me tell you one more time here. Here where it is. Merge conflict. It will rise when we merge two different branches with the same files. But how to resolve it? The solution will be very simple. We want to resolve merge conflict manually. How can we resolve them? Manually. So this is the only thing you want to understand. Guys, I'll tell you the practical part. Practical part will be very, very lengthiest process. But in interview, they are not going to ask you the practical part. They will ask you what is merge conflict and how to resolve. As of now, you know what is merge conflict. Tell me what is merge conflict? It will rise when we merge two different branches with same files. And how to resolve it? Manually. Now I'll show you how to resolve. First of all, I'll go to my console. And don't worry about the process. It will be lengthy, but try to understand what I'm telling. So I'll create a new folder called ABCD. So give the command git init. What I'm using? What is the command to check the list of branches? Git branch. What is the default branch? Is it getting master branch? Why? Correct. We haven't done any initial commit. Already we discussed. If we don't do initial commit, what will happen? There will be no branch. If you want to see the branch, definitely we need to do the initial commit. So go here and write file 1. Of course, here in the notes, I have taken index.html. You can take whatever the file name you want. So here I'm going to take file 1 here. Here I'm writing, hi all, I am developer 1 working on branch 1 with Java code. Which code? Java code. That's it. Now add this file, git add file 1, git commit -m, dev1, commit 1. I'm using dev1 commit 1. Okay. For the file called file 1. Done. So now if I give the command git to branch, what is the branch name here? But for your convenience, I'm going to rename it to branch 1. The reason why I'm renaming it is for your convenience only. Why? Because in the picture, I have drawn the branch 1 itself. Tell me the command to rename a branch. Git branch -m. What is the old branch name? Master. New branch name? Branch 1. So now you can see I have the branch called branch 1. In the branch 1, I have the file called file 1. I have which code here? Java code. Who written the Java code? Developer 1. That means the first section is very, very clear. The first section is very, very clear. Now I'll go to section number 2. So here I'll create branch 2. Now developer 2 will be working on the Python code. So what I'll be doing? Give the command git checkout -b branch 2. So now go here in the file 1. Now here I'm writing, hi all, I am developer 2 working on branch 2 with which code? Python code. So now again I'll be adding this file git add file 1 and give the command git to commit -m. What is the name of the file? No, file name. File 1 only. So in the commit, I'm using dev to commit. Which one? Dev to commit. That's it. Now you can see currently I'm on which branch? Branch 2. What is the file here? File 1 with which code? Python code. I'll go to branch 1 now. Give the command git checkout branch 1. I'm on branch 1 now. Again, I'm having the same file called file 1. But here, which code is there? Now see, you have two different branches. Branch 1, branch 2. In branch 1, which developer is working? Developer 1. In branch 2, developer 2. Developer 1 is working on which code? Java, but developer 2 is working on. Now, if I merge, if I give the command git merge branch 2, I'm on branch 1. Now, what will happen? Whatever the content on branch 2 will come to the branch 1. That means both Java code and Python code is going to merge or not, sir? Now merge conflict will come. Let me show you. But before that, I'll try to commit this one more time. VM file 1. I'm just adding here version 2. For example, I'm adding version 2. Again, give the command git add file 1 and give the command git commit -m dev 1 second commits. That's it. Now give the command git merge branch 1 or 2. Currently I'm on which branch? I'm on branch 1. I want to merge with branch. What happened here? Auto merging file 1. That means I am trying to merge the file 1 from branch 2 to branch 1. But when I am trying to merge, I am getting the conflict. What I am getting? Where I am getting the conflict? In the content. Okay. So here merge conflict is happened in the file 1. So automatic merging failed. Fix the conflicts and then commit the. That means telling, array man, you are trying to merge the branch 1 with branch 2. I mean like branch 2 with branch 1. But unfortunately, you are having the same file. Of course, the content is different, but the file name is. Now, whatever the content from the branch 2 is coming to branch 1 to the same file. So you are having lot of disturbance in the file. Please edit the file and commit the result. Now, if I go and show you the file, VM file 1, are you seeing these lines? This is the code from branch 1. This is the code from. Now you can decide, sir, you want both branches code or you want one branch code. For example, if I don't want the branch 2 code, remove the branch 2 code. If I don't want it. So remove that lines, commit the file and check it. Git commit -m. I'm using final commits. Hit enter. Automatically, now the file got committed and you can see you are having the developer 1 code only. Which code? Now developer 2 can write the same code within some different file. Why? Because due to using the same file name, we got the issue, right? Now he will write the same code on the different file and he's gonna commit that file. So this is the concept of merge conflict. Which one? Again, I'm telling you, this is the lengthiest process and the very big concept in the Git. But my intention is to make sure that process is nothing but whatever I have done here. Okay. So you are not going to understand the process. You are going to understand the what is the definition here. Why? Because in interview, they are not going to ask you the process. Again, tell me what is the definition here? It will rise when we merge two different branches with same files. And if you want to resolve, how to resolve it? Manually. So is the concept of merge conflict clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm, is the merge conflict clear for all of you or not? Okay. So next concept will be cherry pick. Which one? Cherry pick. So this is going to be again one of the most interesting topic actually. I'll create some other folder now. So mkdir IG, CDIG, for example, okay. So here what I'm trying to do is, first of all, I'll create a small branch. Okay. So create the file index.html, index dot. And one more thing, guys, here notes you can see on the section here. Okay. So you are not going to worry about the notes. So now see here how exactly this cherry pick is going to work for now. So I create the file. I add the file. Sorry. First of all, I need to give the command git init. So create the file, add the file, and give the commit. Git commit -m commit to one. Okay. File will be index.html. Now give the command git branch. Currently, how many branches you are having? One branch. Okay. What is the file that you committed? Index dot. I think all of you know this process. Now tell me the command to create a branch called Instagram. Branch name is git branch Insta. For example, I'm giving only Insta. How to switch into the branch? Git checkout Insta. So now in the Instagram branch, I'm going to create some files. Okay. What are the files? Java files. Touch Java 1.5. Give the command git add Java star and give the command git commit -m Java and give Java star. Similarly, create some Python files. How to create? Touch Python 125 git add Python star and give the command git commit -m. So I'm committing which files now? Guys, in the message section, you can write whatever you want. Okay. And here I'm using Python star. Similarly, lastly, I'm going to create the files of Go. Which one? Go is a programming language actually. Okay. So touch Go 1.5 git add Go star and give the command git commit -m Go star. So if we go and see, I have a lot of files, right? How many files I'm having? Java files, Python files, Go programming language. Now, guys, the question is very, very easy. How many branches you are having? 3. 4. 2 only, right? Insta and master. So I'll go to the master. Tell me the command to go to the master. Git checkout. But before that, I want to check the logs. What is the command to check the logs? Git log. I want to check on shortcut -, one line. Okay. I want to check like this. Hit enter. So now what I'll be doing, I use a command git checkout master. Sir, the concept is very, very easy. You are having the branch called Instagram. I mean, like Insta branch. Which branch? So in Insta branch, you committed the Go programming files, Python files, and Java files. My requirement is I want to get the files from Insta branch to master branch. How can I get? I want to get the files from Instagram branch to master branch. Which concept I need to use now? Push. No. Merge. Which one? Merge means adding the files between one branch to. But what is the condition? I don't want to get all the files. I want to get only Java files. In the last section, like I got this query from online. Sir, how can you merge only few files? See, in Insta branch, I have Go programming files. I have Python files. But among them, I want only Java files. I don't want Python and I don't want the Go programming files. So if I use the command git merge Java, I mean like a git merge, sorry, Insta. So whatever the files that I'm presenting on Insta, I'll get the complete files. Okay. See, if I hit this one, automatically the files came or not, sir? But this is not my requirement. My requirement is to get the Java files. Which one? Java files. So I'll revert them by using the command git revert. Revert means to send back. I'm sending them back. Why? Because let me delete these files. So now see here in the branch called branch one, I have only index.html. Sir, how can you get the specific files from from specific branch? The command is git cherry pick. Which one? If you use the command git cherry pick and give the commit ID, if you go and check, the commit ID of Java is nothing but 338B91F. If you give this one here, automatically only that files will come. If you go and check, oh wait, I removed these files now. Let me restore. No, wait. It restore. I removed these files. Wait. I'll create them one more time. Give me a second. Okay, dear XYZ. Unfortunately, I removed those. CD XYZ. Again, the same process. First of all, give the command git init touch index.html. Of course, file name can be anything. Give the command git add index.html, git commit -m, commit 1, and name of the file will be, so it is my master branch. I can give the command git checkout -b insta. Again, the same process, I want to do it one more time. So first of all, create the Java files. Which files? Touch Java 1 file. Git add Java star git commit -m Java. Same thing I want to do for Python also again. So give touch Python and give the command git add Python star and give the command git commit -m Python and give the command here Python. So again, if you want to add some other programming language also, I'm going for Go programming language. These two are enough, but I'm trying to add one more thing also. Go git add Go star git commit -m Go files I'm committing for. Now give the command git log one line. Okay. So go to the branch called master. Which branch? So in master, how many files you are having? Sir, now my requirement is I want to get the files from Insta branch to master branch. But if I use the command git merge, all files will come. But what is my requirement? I want to get only Java files. Which files? So in that case, you can go and run the command called git cherry pick. If you use the command git cherry pick and give the commit ID, what you need to do? Sorry, not this one, Java. Wait. If you hit this one, automatically only Java files will come. Are you seeing Java files now? Sir, similarly, I want to merge only Python files. So copy the Python commit ID and give the command git cherry pick and give the commit ID. Are you seeing it now? So in this way, you are only going to get specific files from specific branch. If you want the complete files, merge is the option. But if you want to merge only specific files, you can use the concept called git cherry pick. So that is what here I have written. So git cherry pick is to merge files between two branches based upon specific commits. Instead of merging all the files from one branch to another branch, it will merge only few files. And the merging will be depending upon commit ID. Which one? So command I can give is git cherry pick and give the commit ID. Okay, in interview they are going to ask you a question. What is the difference between merge and cherry pick? Merge will merge the entire files, but cherry pick will merge only specific files based upon commit ID. So is the difference clear for all of you know? Online, can you please confirm? Is the difference clear for all of you or not? So basically online I'm getting less response from all of you. Okay, so try to give response. Why? Because if you don't give response, I'm not able to understand whether you are like following the concepts or not. Okay. The reason that I'm asking response is for your purpose only. If you understand, just ping me yes. Okay. Fine. So next concept here is gonna be git ignore. Which one? Git ignore is very small concept actually. Let me tell you. Sir, if you want to avoid some files, I don't want to track them. I don't want to, and I don't want to commit them, but still I want those files. In that case, I can use the concept called git ignore. Let me tell you in this way. For example, if I give the command git status, everything is committed, but I am adding some files called touch PHP file. Which file? PHP 1.5. So if I give the command git status, currently these files are on untracked mode. Which mode? Sir, what is my requirement? I don't want to track the files and I don't want to commit these files, but still I want these files. So you don't want to track, you don't want to commit, but you still want them. So in that case, what we can do is we can use the concept called git ignore. If we go to vm.git ignore, guys, here remember dot is mandatory. If you don't give dot, it's not going to work for you. So vm.git ignore, go here and give the command php1. What I'm using here. If I add php1 file here, now if I give git status, am I able to see php1 file there? It will completely ignore. It won't show on the untracked format. Similarly, if I don't want to track php3 file also, what I can do? php3. So php3. Now go and check the command git status. Are you seeing php3 here? Sir, similarly again, I don't want to track all the PHP files. What I can do now? Can I use PHP star? If I use PHP star, all the PHP files are not going to track. Where are you seeing PHP files? So if we don't want to track any files and if we don't want to commit them, so in that case, you can use the git ignore. What we can use? Git ignore is a file that is going to ignore the files. That means the file will not track and the file will not commit. Is it clear for all of you now? Online, can you please confirm, is the git ignore clear for all of you or not? And a question from Sahu. Basically, here I am using the terminal called Mobaxterm. I already shown you how to install the Mobaxterm in the previous session. So like Sahu, please look at the previous session. You will get the clarity. Fine. So we have seen what is cherry pick and we have seen what is git ignore. So git ignore is to ignore the files. If you don't want to track and commit the files, we can put the files here. So we have the files in our directory, but these are not going to be track and commit. Correct. So merge conflict is also done here. So I think already we've seen what is restore, right? And the next command is show. Show is very small command. See, for example, if I give the command git log -one line. Sir, I want to see how many files are applied to this commit. If I give the command git show and give the commit ID, now it is going to tell me for this commit ID, how many files are attached. How many files are attached here? Python 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, for this commit, I want to see how many files are attached. Give the command git show and give the commit ID. Now for this commit ID, I have Java 1, Java 2, Java 3, Java 4 and Java 5. So the purpose of git show command is to show the number of files attached for that single commit. Okay. Here you can see this one. This is to show the files attached to the commits. What is the command here? Git show and give the commit ID. Is it clear for all of you now? Fine. So these are the topics. Okay. And basically there is one more topic which is not a part of your syllabus, but I'll show it for you. That is how to create the tracking sheet for the project. You know, tracking sheet? Tracking sheet. I mean, like a lot of you people are freshers right here. How many of your fresher here raise your hands? Okay, majorly. So might not, you don't know about this tracking sheet. See, I'll tell you this very, very clearly. So try to understand. Okay. See, guys, here, whenever if we get a project, we are going to have multiple developers, correct or not, sir? For multiple developers, what we're going to do, we are going to assign the work. For example, see, it is my project, my Paytm project. Okay. What I'm having here, movie service, train, recharge, movies, train, DTH, recharge. These are the 4 different services. Now see here, basically what happened, you know. For example, if I have the services like movies, train, DTH, and recharge, in real time, we are going to create a track sheet for it. That means in this movie service, which developer is working? In this train service, which developer is working? And how many hours they are working? And what is the deadline for them? At what time the work is assigned? How many hours they are working? Like this entire sheet we are going to prepare. Basically, we means here project managers and project leads will design this sheet for us. But I am going to show you how to design this sheet. Basically, it's not a part of your interview questions. It's not a part of your syllabus also. But I'll show you how the real time tracking sheet is going to be look like. So if you go to the section of GitHub, here you can see something called projects. Are you seeing the project here? Click on create a new project. Here you can go and see the drop down. Are you seeing new project here? Click on new project. So in the new project, you can give the name of the project here. So I'll be going here and I'll be creating the tabular format. Click on create project. Here you can give the name of the project actually. I'll give it later. See, in my project, I am going to have the services like movies, service number 1, as well as service number 2 will be train. If you want to go to the next line, use tab. Okay, tab. And service number 3 will be DTH, tab. Service number 4 will be recharge. Have added the services here. That means these 4 will be the services for my application. Now here, this movie service I want to assign for developer 1. I want to assign for, and this train service I want to assign for my developer 2. And this is for developer 3 and it is for developer 4. So now you can get, sir, how do we add the different developers here? So if you want to add the developers for your project, the process is going to be very, very simple. First of all, here you can go and see in the right side corner, you can see something called as settings. Are you able to see this one? Click on settings. In the settings section, you can see manage access. What you can see? In the manage access, what you can do is you can add the users and collaborators. Collaborator means who is going to work with you actually. So tell me any of your GitHub IDs, I'll add you as collaborator. GitHub IDs. I am Tejas. Wait. 23. Is this one? So now I'm adding Tejas as a writer. That means he's gonna write the code on my repository. You can have the access of reading access, write access, and admin. Admin we cannot give. Why? Because admin means they can do whatever they want. So tell me developer 2 name. Any one of you. Your GitHub ID. Sharath Kumar. Yes, na? Okay. RATHKUMAR. Hyphen MSK. Okay. Next, person number 3. Madhubala. M capital. It's fine. Completely fine. Hyphen Mishra. Okay, here it is missing. This one, right? Okay. Then finally, I'm asking your GitHub ID only, man. Tapasa. TAPASH hyphen RB. This one, right? I mean, like I am seeing one thing common in these three user. You are putting hyphen. Basically, I never seen any person is using hyphen in the GitHub IDs. This is the first time I am seeing that too multiple people are using hyphens here. Coincidence. Fine. So for Tejas is my developer one, and Sharat Kumar is my developer two, Madhubala is my developer three, and Tapas is my developer. Click on invite. The moment if I click on invite, so here these people will be part of my project now. So what I can do, if I go back here, I'll take a duplicate tab here. Wait, I'll take a duplicate tab. In the duplicate tab, if I go back here, now in the drop down section, in the assignees, I am assigning Tejas for my movie service. Who is taking my movie service now? Tejas. And status, I am putting it as to do. To do means he is yet to do this one. And after that, here I'm adding the new symbol, that is, here in new field, you can put assigned date. Assigned date. That means at which date it is assigned. Okay. So I'm giving today's date. What is the date for today? 12/06/2024. As well as here, I'm going to put the deadline. What is the deadline here again? Click on new symbol, new field. I'm going to put here deadline. So click on save, and here you can put the deadline as next month. Exactly within the next month, you need to show the output of this project. Again, train service I am giving for my developer 2. Developer 2 is who here? Sharat Kumar. And again, progress to do. Assign a date. And finally, I'm going to give the deadline. Similarly, I have one more developer called Madhubala here. So I'm giving the DTH service for us. And the completely status is going to be to do. Why? Because I'm just assigning for them. So after that, assign a date and finally deadline. So make it here. So last will be the recharge service. It's for Tapas. And the status will be to do, starting day as well as deadline. So like this, whenever if we create a project, I mean like whenever if we take a project, we are going to distribute the work to the developers like this. Okay, we are going to create the project tracking sheet. That means how the project is going, how many developers are working, what is the service I have given for them. As a manager, first of all, I need to create this sheet for them. Once if I create the sheet, okay, now for example, if Tejas is working, okay, today I create the sheet. Now Tejas is gonna change the status from today to in progress. In progress means currently is working on it. At the end of the day, he can write here comments. What he can write? Comments. In comment section, he can write whatever you want. In comment here, I'm writing done with level 1 coding. Done with level 1 coding. Okay. So like this, by the end of the day, he can write the comments also, like how many hours he worked, at what kind of service he worked. He can be able to give it. So after done with their shift, now as a manager, I log into the sheet and I'm gonna check how many people are working. Okay, how many hours they are spending, what kind of issues they are facing. I can see everyone like this. So this is how the project spreadsheet is going to look like. But guys, here remember, this is not what you are going to do. I'm just showing you this is how it look like in real time. But in real time, your managers and team leaders will do these kind of activities. But as a fresher, I am showing you how to create the tracking sheet for all of you. So is the concept of creating the tracking sheet clear for all of you? Online, is it clear for all of you now how to create the tracking sheet for the project? Can you please confirm in chat box online? Correct. Fine. So in today's session, which topics we have discussed? First of all, I start the session with the concept of git pull command. Which command? What is git pull? Use it to get the changes from GitHub to local. And what is git fetch? It is to show the changes from GitHub to Git. And what is the difference between push versus pull? Push is to send the code from Git to, and pull is to get the code from GitHub to Git. After that, we have seen what is merge conflict. Guys, what is merge conflict here? It will rise when we merge two different branches with the same code. And how to resolve the merge conflict? Manually. What is git cherry pick here? This is used to merge the files between two branches based upon the specific commits. So instead of merging all the branches, I mean like all the files from one branch to another branch, here we are going to merge only few files, correct? So next one, what is git ignore? It is to ignore the files. If we don't want to track and commit the files, we are going to put the files on the git ignore. Here I have given how to create the file, checking the status, how to go for git ignore, add the files and come out of :eq like that. And finally, we have seen the command of show command. What is the purpose of git show command? To show the files attached to the commit. So you can use the command git show and we can use the command called commit ID. So whatever the commits you want to check to the files, you can use the commit ID. So now this is the session for today's class. Okay. And before going for doubts and queries, let's go to the interview questions and discuss, and I'll come back to the doubts and queries. So guys, in the interview question, here the first question will be, what is the difference between pull versus fetch? Just now only you said. Okay, pull means, tell me, pull means GitHub to Git or Git to GitHub? GitHub to Git. Fetch means to show the changes. Okay, pull will download the code from GitHub to Git, but fetch will show the, it won't download the code. Pull versus clone. Pull is for files, but clone is for entire repository. Correct. Pull versus push. Pull is to GitHub to Git and push is to Git to GitHub. Correct. And what is cherry pick here? To merge the files from one branch to another branch based upon commit IDs. And what is the difference between merge versus cherry pick? Merge will merge all the files, but cherry pick will merge only specific files. Correct. What is .git ignore? To ignore the files. Okay. And what is git restore? Git restore will be helpful in two cases. First of all, to untrack the tracked file. Second one is to recover the lost file. For example, if I delete the file, if I want to restore, I can use the command called git restore. And there is one more command called stash, which is to hide the files. Which one? For example, if I want to hide the files for temporary purpose, I'm going to use the command called git stash. I'll explain this later. Don't worry it as of now. But here I have covered what is the meaning of stash. So now tell me, before going for doubts and queries, how's the concept for all of you today? Is it clear? Online, can you please confirm me, is the concept clear for all of you or not? How's today's session for all of you? Can you please confirm me? So that means on a high level overview, we can say Git is to write the code, GitHub is to host the code in the internet. But guys, till now you learned this many concepts, right? But I'm going to tell you one thing. What are the concepts you learn from the past 4 days? In real time, you are going to use nothing. These concepts you are going to use. Whatever the concepts I taught you, you are going to not work on this concept. Why? Because see, this Git will be helpful for developers. But as a DevOps engineer, I'm telling you this one, you will never get the access for Git and GitHub. Even in my company, I don't have access for the GitHub. But sir, If you are not having the access, if you are not going to work on this concept, then why we are going to learn this? Why? Because as a DevOps engineer, what is your primary activity? To do the deployments. Deployment means what? Taking the code from developer laptop to putting the code on the server. That means if you want to do the deployment, you need to take the code from Git and GitHub or not, sir? For that reason, I have taken 4 days to explain. But again, I'm telling, in the perception of Git and GitHub, you are just only going to take the code. You are not going to do the merge conflicts. You are not going to do the cherry picks, and you are not going to commit the files and send to the GitHub. Okay. The only thing you're going to do is take the code from GitHub, build the code, test the code, and deploy the application. That is your work. But if you want to take the code, you need to understand what is the mechanism of both Git and GitHub. That's it. So this is the entire overview about the concept of Git and GitHub. So in tomorrow's class, we are going to start with the new concept called Maven. Which one? Guys, I'm telling you one thing. First 5 days of our DevOps session is gonna be very, very boring. I know. Why? Because I'll tell you, your DevOps engineer work will start from day 6. Why? Because in day 6, we are gonna start Jenkins. What we gonna start? As a DevOps engineer, your work will start from Jenkins only. But if you want to understand the mechanism of Jenkins, you need to have prerequisite of Git and Maven. If you can't understand Git, GitHub and Maven, you cannot work on Jenkins. That is the reason for the first 5 days, whatever you are going to learn is not the work of DevOps engineers. But again, if you can't learn this, you cannot do the Jenkins. That's it. Okay. So now if you are having any doubts or any queries or the entire concept of Git and GitHub, now you can ask me. What are the doubts and queries you are having? And one more thing is, for example, sir, currently what is the name of the repository we are using here? For example, in future, I want to change the repository name. How can I change it? So go to settings here. In the settings, you can see the option to change the repository. Are you seeing it now? I'm going to put the name as Raham. Click on rename. Now automatically the repository name is going to be renamed as Raham, like that. Sir, for example, if I use the command pull or push, is it going to work now? It won't work. Why? Because previous repository name is different. Current repository name is different. Okay. So remember, whenever if you change the repository name, your commands will not work on Git terminal. Pulling, pushing, fetching will not work. Why? Because you change the name of the repository. So in that case, you are going to rename it back. Again, I'm going to rename it to Paytm. So make sure this one. Okay. So here few questions from online here. Sir, for new application, if we are the configuration engineer, then we have the access to Git and we perform action. No, basically I am telling you, Swati, if you are a DevOps engineer, you won't get the access of Git and GitHub. Why? Because that is to host the code. In real time, if DevOps people write the code, who will deploy the application? Developers will deploy. Our work is to deploy the application, but coding is not a part of your work. But coding will be helpful for you to write the scripts. If you are good at Python, you can use Python script to automate the deployment. You can write some Lambda functions. You can write the automated scripts also. Only for scripting, we need to learn coding, but otherwise it's not required, Aswati. Hope it is clear for you. Sir, do we need to download anything before tomorrow's class? No need. So for our entire class, the only thing you want to download is MobaXterm. What you gonna download? And even that is optional. If you don't want to work on MobaXterm, you have the browser. In the browser also, you can connect to the servers and you can work. And coming to the next question here from Vikram, merge conflict is in local repo. We can clear manually. Okay. So Vikram, even the merge conflict is appear in the GitHub. Again, we are going to resolve the conflict in a manual way only, Vikram. You are going to edit the code and you are going to check the code and then finally you are going to commit it. It doesn't matter whether you perform in Git on GitHub, both will be resolved in manual way only. And Adil Rashida, sir, is solving the conflict our work? No. Solving the work is a developers. Solving the conflict is the work of developers. Why? Because who write the code in real time? That means only those people know what to write, where to write. If I go and solve the conflict, how can I know which code is going to work on which branch? Do I have an idea? I am not the person who built the code, so I don't have any idea about it. So Adil Rashid, in real time, we are not gonna work on the conflicts. Okay, developers will work on the conflict. And a question from Irfan sir, what is the meaning of deploy? Deployment means it is the work what as a DevOps engineers we are gonna do. What is the meaning of deployment, guys? Process of installing the application to a server. That means developer write the code on the local laptop. He is gonna give the code to the GitHub. From the GitHub, we take the code, we build the code, we test the code, then finally we are going to deploy it. This process is called as deployment, and this you are going to see in the day 6 of our class. Today is which day of DevOps? Today is which day of DevOps? 6, day 4 only. Okay. Okay, Suvin, fine. Okay, sir. Thank you for clarification on Git merge. Next year, regarding on the cherry pick, sir, it merges entire commit ID. For example, 3 files and 3 files. But in that case, the only one file I want to merge. What you can use is give the cherry pick, whatever the files you want. Keep the files and remove the rest of the files, Vikram. You can do like this also in an easy way. Okay. Let me have some water. And coming to after, any queries from your end? Wait, guys, I'm giving unmute option for you. So Swati, you wanna speak, right? And fine, I'll give unmute for you. But before Akil, you can go ahead. Akil Mohammed. Akil, wait, I'm not able to hear you. Can you speak now, Akil? Hello, Akil Mohammed, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Swati, you can speak now.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Swati, give me a second. I think I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now, sir?
I'll remove this one.
Hello.
Yes, Swati, you can go ahead now.
Sir, basically, I'm a DevOps engineer, where I'll be working for a bank for more than 300 of applications.
Okay.
As we discussed now, like as a DevOps engineer, we won't be having access to GitHub. But in my case, sir, like we are using two tools. One is XLR, and the other one is the Ansible Tower. So for this,
that is configuration management tool.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we will be using Tower for deployment part, where
Okay.
we'll be getting the template details and the artifact URL. Based on those details, we'll be performing the deployments. And the
Okay.
other tool is the XLR. XLR is more of an automated tool when compared with the Ansible Tower.
Okay.
So for this, we'll be having access to the GitHub. For that, we'll be having JSON files, and in the JSON files, we'll be having details of the environments. So.
Okay.
For every releases, for every 3 months release or for every 1 month release, we will be changing the names of the environments.
Okay.
And for that, we need to have access for the GitHub, in which we will be performing this Git actions like Git
GitHub
add.
actions.
Yes. So the point that I'm mentioning now is that so that if we are saying the other like the junior students that being a DevOps engineer, like coming to my experience being a DevOps engineer, I have access to the GitHub at my office. So I'll be performing very basic commands like the add, commit, and push. Other than this, I won't be performing any other, and the pull and fetch. Other than this 5 commands, I won't be performing any other commands. The reason why I'm highlighting this point is that it's better for every upcoming candidates to learn about Git as well.
Exactly. So guys, here if you listen to the which is given by Swati, like what she is telling is she is working as a DevOps engineer in our organization. What she is telling is as a DevOps engineer, like she is having access for the GitHub, not for the GitHub development. She can do the commits, she can do the pulling activity, she can do the pushing activity. But at the end of the day,
What type of point I mentioned initially is we don't have access to the GitHub, but as well as we have the access to the Git. That means whatever changes we can do on the local, that we can replicate to the GitHub. But directly if we go to the GitHub, we don't have any kind of permission in the GitHub file. Okay. So, and again, it depends upon some organization. Whereas if you take my organization, we don't have access for the GitHub. But in real time, it's not like that. In all organizations, they will follow the same protocols. For some organization, you might have the access, and for some organization, you might not have the access. But majority of the cases where I have seen is, we have very less access for Git and GitHub. Only limited, only to do the some of the commits, pulling the activities and pushing. That too, in my organization, we used to upload the manifest file actually. So there is a concept called manifest file in Kubernetes. There is a concept of the Argo CD. If you put the code of GitHub, automatically the deployment is going to be done. So depends upon the project and depends upon the level of experience. The access for Git and GitHub is going to be. So thank you, Swati. Thank you for sharing your insights. Fine. I have a problem. It is clear for you online. So next query is from online again. Sir, can I ignore? Can also ignore director's response. Basically, you can ignore whatever you want. Okay, anything is fine. Okay, it can be folder, it can be file. That's completely fine. And Rajesh, sir, for conflict, can we rename the completed file and recommit it merging? Of course, here the issue is with the file name only. For example, if you change the file name, the conflict will not happen. I hope it is clear for you, Rajesh. If you don't want to get the conflict, simply rename it and simply merge it. It's fine. Then voice not clear. Online, can you please confirm me whether I'm audible or not?
How about now? Is it clear or like, are you getting the still same voice? Okay, okay, fine. So guys, that's it for today's session. In tomorrow's session, I'm going to start the concept of Maven. See, again, this Git and Maven, both you are going to use in the Jenkins concept. But instead of directly saying this both on Jenkins, first of all, I'm giving the clarity about what is Git, what is GitHub. Okay. And what is Maven, I'm going to explain individually. And at the end of the day, I'm going to combine all of them to the Jenkins itself. Okay. So in tomorrow's concept, what is the thing we are going to discuss? It's about Maven. So Maven is a build tool which is going to create the artifacts to deploy the application. Till now, we are in the level 1 of the deployment only. So basically, in the deployment, we have totally 4 levels. Level 1 is to take the code. Level 2 is to make the application build. Level 3 is to perform the testing activities. And level 4 is the deployment. So till now, level 1 is done. In tomorrow's session, I'm going to discuss the level 2. Sir, can we get the recording to date end? So Kiran, I'm going to upload the recording session to the Telegram channel, as well as I'll be uploading this to the Google Classroom also. So at the end of session, I'm going to mention, okay? Fine. Sir, we haven't got Google Classroom till now. So please ping to admin Praveen. Like a lot of people got the access. If you haven't got, so please ping to admin once. He will provide it for you. Okay, then I'll ask him to check once. So I'll ask Praveen to give the access for the rest of the people who are pending now. Okay then. So thank you guys. Thanks for joining today's session. So let's meet on tomorrow's class with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.